Yeah. All I get a great cat, baby.
You and I.
You know you the ginger. If you know how you the cause you drop. Shit, you know go one person. Love the way you the dance, girl. I am we made it. Why you can't love fire? Mommy, you too late. Let's hop in my Maserati. Baby, hop in my Maserati.
Friends, I want to welcome you again to another YouTube video. Of course, I'll be discussing about personal development. I'll be discussing about relationship affairs, and today specifically I want to focus on entrepreneurship. I want to talk about the laws that govern wealth and abundance. I want to discuss about the secret of the entrepreneurs for every successful business. Yeah, this is the secret. This is a grand formula. Of course, I tell you, if you go according to these laws, then obviously nothing will preclude you from not become successful in your business. Yeah, I tell you, for everything on this earth governs by law. Yeah, and the difference between the rich and the poor is the fact that the rich, they have been able to discern the laws, the secrets to wealth and abundance, whilst the poor are yet to understand the laws that governs wealth and success. And today I want to discuss these things to you. I want to give you the grand formula to wealth and abundance. I tell you for sure. Of course, success is being designed by God to be inevitable. Honestly speaking, so what are you waiting for? Why do you have saints with 5 billion souls? Ask yourself these honest questions. What are you doing with your life? Well, today I want to discuss 3 very most important things that will set you free financially. But before we go to any discuss or any details, if you're new here, I want to welcome you to my YouTube video. Of course, please subscribe to my YouTube video, share, leave a comment on your idea, what you feel about these tips and what you want me to explain or to discuss in my next videos. Thank you for that, and I appreciate you. So let's go to discussion proper. Of course, the money you receive, the money I receive as an individual will always be in an exact proportion to 3 things. There are 3 things I'm about to tell you. The money you receive as an individual, the money you make, the money I make, the money other people make, business, corporation, enterprise, is in exact proportion to these 3 different things. Number 1, the demand for what you do. Bracket open, your product or service you offer. And secondly, your ability in doing them, your skills, expertise and proficiency. And thirdly, your difficulties in replacing you. These are the grand formula to success. These are the grand key, the irrefutable laws. When you break prosperity into its unit, the atom of prosperity is this. Friends, I searched and I found. I have studied a lot of wealthy people, a lot of wealthy family, a lot of wealthy corporation, enterprise, how they came about. And I found out that this is the law which each and every one of them conform to. This is a secret, and I'm about to unleash the secrets to you. Don't trivialize the importance of this. I tell you for sure, the amount of money you make as an individual or business, enterprise, corporations or family will be in an exact proportion to these 3 things. I tell you for sure, don't trivialize these things. It is very, very important. Number 1, the demand for what you do. Number 2, your ability in doing them. And number 3, your difficulty in replacing you. I tell you for sure. Let's take the first tip, the demand for what you do. Never try to offer any service or never try to produce any product or any service when you know that there is no notable demand for it. Never try to do so. If you are doing so, then it's like you're answering a question no one is asking. Imagine, the possibility, let's say for example, if I have, of course I have a business, and the success of my business will always be in an exact proportion to the way people are demanding for it. Do not trivialize these things. This is true. This is an irrefutable laws. You need to understand. The success of my business will always be in exact proportion to the demand of people for my business. I tell you for sure, the reason why people are failing financially is because they are not understanding, if people are demanding for their service or product. That is why they are failing financial wise. Of course, we understand the world markets today, is in competition. What I mean, there's a tough competition in the world market between corporate enterprise companies and all of that. Example, Apple and that of Samsung. These companies, their products are very expensive, but because of the demand, from the people, that is why they are progressing today. There is in fact, everybody want to use iPhone. Of course, I know you want to use iPhone. I want to use iPhone. Everybody want to use iPhone. So there is a demand for their service. You see, when there is high demand for their service, even if they fail, they will still succeed because the demand for their service is too high. Of course, I tell you, this is very important. Of course, if there are no babies, what's the need for Pampers? I tell you, people push to bed every day. So there is a demand for Pampers. Of course, no. Once there is the demand for it, then obviously you grow financially. Once there is a demand for your business, you grow financially. Have you ever understand the reason, the success behind this foreign people when they are coming to this country, they make a lot of money and all? Have you ever noticed why these people are making a lot of money? These Lebanese people and all of that, and all of these foreigners, when they are coming here to do investment and all. These people will never come to Africa. They will never come here to do any investment without ascertaining that there is a demand for their service. I tell you for sure, that is why when they want to come to Africa, they will make sure that they send an invoice or representatives to give them statistics for what people are demanding for before ever they will make a haste or they will make a move to come to Africa and do them and invest their business. They are testing the waters to know that there is a demand. They will never come if they do not understand, if they do not ascertain that there is a demand for their service, to the point that even if they fail, they will still succeed because they understand that there is a huge demand for their service. So failure for them, would be something they will not consider because they know there's a demand for their service. So certainly they will not fail. I tell you. And of course, as a businessman or as a business person, if you want to, or you're about to open a business and all of that, always make sure you create a demand for your business. You can do that through exposure, orientation, or advertisement. Of course, we've seen, this business enterprise like Paddy. Of course, we've seen Paddy, this mayonnaise, they are making advertisements. They are selling their product out. They are creating a demand for their product, and we are seeing an advert done on TV, by Kenji Palmer. He's doing an advert for Sarah Juice and all of that. You are thinking that these things are just for entertainment, but they are not for entertainment. These people know what they are doing. They are creating a sustainable demand for their product. This is what exactly we are doing. So after the advertisement, you realize, let me taste this. Let me send for this thing so I can taste and let me see if it's something good. Of course, they are drawing your attention that there's a particular product. There's a particular product they have, which you might be interested in. So that is how the rich, that is how the wealthy people do operate. I tell you, if you operate that way, then of course you will be financially free. Always learn to respond to demands. If you do so, you'll be financially free. I tell you for sure. Make no mistake about that. When the demand for your service or your product, is becoming overwhelming or very high, you will understand that your wealth, your wealth index, will grow at a fast rate, and you'll be able to stand on your feet even if your business crashes. What I mean by this is that just what I've explained entirely, the rate at which people are demanding for your product is very high, that you become too big to fail. Take an example, Africell is telecommunication companies, Africell, Airtel and the likes. Because there are no alternatives to them, the demand for communication is too high. To the point that even if you want to throw the SIM away, at times they do misbehave, of course, but I mean, you won't be able to throw the SIM away because you need communication. That is a demand. Now these companies are very successful because there is a huge demand for communication. Of course, I tell you, pure water will never stop to sell in Sierra Leone until Jesus comes. As long as people are living in the sun, because we engage in a lot of working activities, people are walking, there are a lot of pedestrians on the streets and all of that. So they are drinking water. People drink water in this country like camels to quench their thirst, and reactivate their energy, and all of that. So water is very important to life. It sustains the life. It sustains your life and all of that. So it's very important. So water will never stop to sell in Sierra Leone. There's a time when there was fuel crisis in Sierra Leone. For 72 hours, Sierra Leone will lost, billions of leones. You know why? Because there was high demand. In fact, there is still high demand for energy. So for that, we lost over billions of leones for just 72 hours, 3 days. Imagine that one. Of course, I believe people must bath. Yes, that is a must, of course. And there's a need for soap. There's a demand for soap because you bath. Of course, these are all things you should be considered. And as well, of course, there is a need again for restaurants. I believe people must eat 3 times. If there is no restaurant in the town, then that's a demonic thing, because people should eat 3 times a day. Of course, if you don't have money, at least once. If you are fasting, okay, that's okay. But naturally, traditionally, you should eat 3 times per day, of course, you understand. So there is a need for restaurants, of course. And I tell you, if you actually learn to respond to demand, then obviously, tell me what will preclude you from not be successful with your business. You will always learn to be successful. You will always be successful. I tell you, note this down. Always make sure that there is a sufficient and sustainable demand for your product before working on them. Without this idea, do not work on them. Always make sure, never try to offer or render any service when you understand that there will not be consistent demand for your service or product. This is the law. This is the grand formula, and this is very important. This is a secret to every wealthy individual. This is a secret to business, enterprise, corporation, wealthy families. They subscribe to these laws. This is a grand formula. I tell you, don't realize this thing. The importance of this message is very important. So if you want to start a business, these are tips you need to put into consideration. They are very, very much important. So I want to thank you for your time. And if you have any idea again, please just leave it in the comments below. And please like and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
And I just wanna see you guys. Somebody needs somebody. My body, your body. I'm more check out, follow me, body, you need somebody. Somebody needs somebody. My body needs somebody.
Hi friends, I am Bill Fitzgerald Conte, and I want to welcome